The last entry. The journal was on the kitchen table when Mara arrived. A fat spiral notebook with "Guest log, please add your entry" written on the cover in cheerful marker. She made tea, got a fire going, and read it front to back. That was the first mistake.
The cabin belonged to her college roommate's family. 2 weeks alone in the Maine woods, no Wi-Fi, no agenda. Mara had just finished a divorce and needed, as her therapist put it, to hear herself think again. The journal went back 11 years. Most entries were pleasant. Saw a loon, made chili, needed this. Couples mostly. A few solo writers like her. Families with children who drew wobbly pictures of deer. But she noticed something, reading carefully. Every entry that lasted more than 3 nights mentioned sounds on the third. Scratching under the floorboards, probably an animal, 2014. Kept hearing something walk across the roof. Dan says I'm dramatic, 2016. I know this sounds insane, but something was outside the window for 3 hours. I could hear it breathing. I did not look. I flew home in the morning, 2019. The handwriting jagged and sloping. The most recent entry before hers was last October. Half a page, then it stopped mid-sentence. There's something wrong with the way it... That was all. Mara sat with that for a moment. Then she wrote her own entry. Date, name, so far so good, needed this, closed the notebook, and told herself old cabins have raccoons, have foxes, have pipes, have the ordinary nighttime grammar of isolated places, and she was a grown woman, and she was fine.
Night 1, silent. She slept 10 hours, dreamed of nothing. Night 2, a branch fell on the roof, and she screamed, then laughed at herself, then lay awake until 3, feeling foolish. Night 3, she woke at 2 a.m. to silence so complete it had texture. Then the sound started. Not scratching, not footsteps, something slower, a rhythmic pressure against the exterior wall, like something leaning its full weight in, then releasing, then leaning again, methodical, patient, moving gradually along the side of the building toward the front door. She did not move. She watched the ceiling and counted her breaths, and the sound made its slow way around the perimeter of the building and stopped at the door. Silence. Then a single knock. She turned on every light. She checked the deadbolt. She sat at the kitchen table with a knife she knew she wouldn't use and waited for dawn, which came eventually, as it always does, indifferent and gray. Nothing outside. No tracks in the soft mud, no marks on the walls. She picked up the journal to write it all down, the sounds, the knock, the specific quality of her fear, and opened it to her entry from 2 nights ago. There was a new entry after hers. Same date as today. Her handwriting. She knew her own handwriting, had stared at it on legal documents for months, but she had not written this. Mara. It doesn't want in. That's what I kept getting wrong. It wants you to open the door. It can't come in unless you do. Don't. Don't do it for any reason. Wait until full daylight and then drive and don't stop. I know you want to know what it is. You'll decide that knowing is worth the risk because you've always been that way, and it's both your best quality and your worst one. It isn't worth it. There is nothing you could learn from seeing it that would be worth seeing it. Please. She read it 4 times. She thought about the entry from October, the one that stopped mid-sentence. She thought about the 11 years of journals and whether anyone had ever reported something wonderful, something that sent them home changed for the better. She thought about her therapist's voice. She thought about her ex-husband, who always said she ran toward things she should run from. She looked at the door. The knock came again. Softer this time, almost polite. She stood up.
The journal is still on the table. Her entry is there, and after it the warning in her own hand. And after that, if you read all the way to the end, one more entry, dated 2 days from now, in handwriting that is almost hers. The letters the right shape, but somehow off, like a signature traced rather than written. It's so much better out here. You should see what I can see now. Come outside. Knock back and I'll show you.